Hey everybody, this is Mr. Beckstrom, and today I want to take a look at an example from section 10.2. This is on parabolas, and it says find the vertex, focus, and directrix of the following parabola. Graph the equation. All right, so notice here that we have a y squared term, but not an x squared term. This means that we're going to need to complete the square for y's. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do y squared minus 10y. Now, in order to complete the square, I have to do a little process on the coefficient in front of the y value, in front of the y variable. So what I do is I take the negative 10, first I divide it by 2, and then I square it. This is how we complete the square. So negative 10 divided by 2 is negative 5, and negative 5 squared is 25. So I need to add a 25 here in order to complete that square. Now notice there's already a plus 25 there, so I'm just going to use that. If I didn't have a plus 25 there, then I would end up just adding 25 to both sides. Which let me just do it that way, just so you have the full process, because it's very rarely ever going to be that the number is already in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 25 plus 4x plus 25, plus whatever. That's let me just erase that. Oh my gosh. There we go. Plus 25. So I added 25 on this side in order to complete the square. So I have to add 25 on the other side. So 0 plus 25 is 25. All right. And now I'm going to bring this over to the other side by subtracting 25 from each side. So I don't need this over here. So minus 25 minus 25. And I'm going to get y. And this completes the square, so I can write that as the first number I got when I divided the negative 10 by 2, which is negative 5. So this is going to become y minus 5 quantity squared. That is this whole kind of quadratic right there. And then I have the plus 4x is equal to 25 plus negative 25 is 0. I didn't have to go through all that. I could have just used the 25, but I just want to show you. And then finally, in order to get it to where it's in one of the forms on page 659, I'm going to subtract the 4x from both sides. So y minus 5 quantity squared is equal to negative 4x. And really, I can write that as x minus 0 to put it exactly in the form. And then if I look down, I can see that this one corresponds with the left opening parabola. It's the one, it's on page 659. Look at the 4 formulas. This one where we have the y squared and we have a negative here. That's how we tell the y is squared and we have a negative in front of the x. That's a left opening parabola. All right. So now they're asking us to find the vertex. Well, the vertex is just hk. Here's my h, here's my k. So the vertex is equal to 0, 5. Remember, since we have a minus in the formula, it's always going to be the opposite of whatever those signs are. 0 doesn't matter though. Now we need to do the equation of the focus. And there's a few different ways to do it, but with that formula on page 659, it gives us a nice little formula for the focus. And it says the focus is h minus a and k. And let's go ahead and identify our stuff. So h is 0. K is equal to 5. And we need to find a. Looks more like a 9 than an a. Let me fix that up a little bit here. And in order to find the A, remember, it's the number that you multiply this -4 by in order to get a -4. So in this case, A is just going to equal to 1. If I didn't know that, what I could do is I could say -4A is equal to whatever's already here, -4. Or -4A, yeah, or -4 times whatever's here is equal to -4 because we need a -4 out front there. And then I divide both sides by -4, and A is equal to 1. So that's how I can also get the 1 there. All right. For example, if there was a -2 out front, I would say -2 times A is equal to -4. And therefore -2, -2, therefore A would be equal to 2. Why? Because 2 times -2 gives us a -4 that we need out front for this formula. All right, but that was just an example of another one. Let's go ahead and do this focus. So that is just equal to 0 minus 1, which is -1, and K is 5. So there's our focus. Our directrix, they give us a nice formula for that too. Directrix. And that is equal to, or let me put it like this. That equation is x is equal to h plus a. This is the opening left one. So in this case, it would be x is equal to 0 plus 1, which is 1. So this here is the equation of our directrix. And finally, we want to graph this thing. So I thought I would go ahead and actually pull over my MATLAB tool to do that. All right, so here it is, and we're going to go ahead and do this thing, right? All right, so how do we do it? Really, we need the vertex, and we also need one other point. So let me bring this back over here real quick. We already have the vertex, so we're going to first use the point 0, 5, and then we need one other point that works. Well, I'm going to go up to, let's go up to this formula right here, or actually this formula, and I'll kind of simplify that. So we have y minus 5 quantity squared is equal to -4x. So I just need to find a value that works in here, a point that works in here. So how do I get this side of the equation to be a 4? Well, I need a 2 in here because 2 squared is 4. And in order to make that a 2, I need a y equals 7. So if I put a 7 in here for a y, then 7 minus 5 is 2, and 2 squared is 4. And notice, in order to get a 4 on the other side, I have to place a -1 in there for x, right? Because -1 times -4 is 4. And then I have the point, and you have to make sure you put it in the right order, -1, 7. So that's the second point that I'm going to use. And you want to get whole numbers. The reason I didn't use 6, because 6 minus 5 is 1, and 1 squared is 1. And then this would end up being a fraction over here, right? Because it would be -1/4. So I'm trying to make a nice number here that's going to fit with this side. And you can also kind of solve for y over here as well, and set up an equation there in order to do it. But if you just kind of toy around with a little bit, you can usually find something. So I'm going to use 0, 5 for my first point and -1, 7 for my second point. All right, this is a left opening, so I'm going to do the one on the side here. So my first point is 0, 5. And my second point is -1, 7, which is right there. And that should do it. That's it. And there's a lot of second points that would have worked there. But if you have any questions about it, let me know. And I hope you have a great rest of your week. Thanks.